What's up, everybody? We got the usual. It's Thursday. It's a little bit past 9, and it's Warp Charge Gaming doing a live talk show with Chris and James.
Yo, yo, yo.
Heyo.
What's up, interwebs? How is everyone doing?
Life's moving quick. It's been a great week. I can't believe it's been like from the last talk show, it definitely feels like a couple weeks for me internally. I've been finding that like midnight, like when I feel like it's midnight, it's 2 a.m. lately. That's happened a lot.
How does that keep happening, George?
I think it's because I get really wrapped up in kill teams. It's pretty much been from morning to evening. Like I'm eating and sleeping it, dude. Like it's my last thoughts at night. It's the first thoughts when I wake up. I'm obsessed.
That's pretty interesting. I'm a fan of that.
I reached my 20th game today. Thank you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
20 games already?
Yep, 20 games, son.
I'm shocked. I mean, I'm not shocked, but like I'm a little shocked.
One of those was a virtual battle with not Ice Wolf, but War Magic, who hadn't got to see War Magic in a while. He was up on the old Discord. I jumped back into Discord. Honestly, like my virtual 40k had really stifled.
Waned off.
Yeah, I was like on it when I first discovered that shit, dude. I was on every day, and granted, it was
Dude.
up right before Adepticon too.
George, let me put it this way. I wasn't sure that you were sleeping at all. I'll be honest. Because you were definitely gaming into like the wee hours of the morning.
Literally, the sun would come up like 6 a.m.
I mean, I was coming over to game, and I think like your mother-in-law mentioned you being up like way early in the morning.
Oh yeah, playing some games, playing some dice games. Yeah, like I've been putting it down, and I've been motivated to jump back on our Discord server that's pretty much dedicated around virtual tabletop simulator. And I've been hunting out kill team games. I found on Discord there was already a kill teams campaign going on through Tabletop Simulator. There's this other gaming group that has Tabletop Simulator players playing a kill teams campaign right now.
That's super cool.
They wouldn't let me play because they had already started. I was like, dang.
I mean, it's hard to jump in on an existing campaign, but like, I mean, I would continue to engage them, man, because like literally hopping on the next round if they're cool with it.
Well,
just kind of
totally. I'm more than happy to play other people's stuff, but you know how we roll. We'll just make our own as well.
I mean, definitely. Yeah. I just know, and like for me, I really badly want to do it, but finding a day of the week that works for me personally is kind of nightmarish.
Well, I think that's where you almost got to do it like a one dayer, like where we're like, okay, 8 hours. Well, I bet we can do 6 games, and do like a 6-game campaign. Like I'm rocking games in 30 minutes now, dude. Granted 45 with slower players, newer players. And today, also very exciting, I got a Death Guard army.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I picked up a Death Guard kill team.
Oh, a kill team. Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, kill team. But it was tight. One, it's super cool. Like I'm using some Age of Sigmar models that I didn't realize that the Death Guard could choose a Death Guard fighter, where they give all their shooty weapons up for combat weapons, which matches the weapons that the Age of Sigmar models are already carrying, like these crazy flails, and they're ridiculously good. I found out today. Yeah, they get D3 attack for every attack they make. They get D3 of them.
They're flails. It's kind of like the Dark Angels flails, or like it's there's a lot of them.
So you put it on a combat specialist, and you get 3 attacks times D3. So you can end up with up to 9 attacks. Yeah, you go in there and wreck. And then it's -2 damage apiece.
That's nasty.
Yeah, so that did work. And I almost beat Harlequins for the first time. I ended up tying him. He would have beat me in 4 turns, but I tied him on the 5th. Would have won on a 6th, but the game ended. Still haven't beat the Harlequins officially. They are extremely good in kill teams.
Speaking of win-losses, I don't want to get in 40k yet, but I do want to just highlight the point that I have some 40k gaming to discuss.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's this, and technically we're still discussing 40k, but in a different way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I got in my game. The 3-man game with you and Connor was a blast. I mean, not because I ended up just by a hair easily getting 1 point ahead by rolling really good, but like that game was a lot of fun. I need to explore the system more. I think I'm gonna have more fun with the Genestealer Cult than Tyranids, because Tyranids seem really mono, kind of like stagnant build in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like their units don't have nearly the options or like weapon diversity of like guard-like units that the Genestealer Cult and stuff has.
The net list I keep seeing is like they'll take 3 warriors and all the rest are Hormagaunts.
That's honestly, literally, almost exactly what I was thinking would have been good. I mean, they're probably taking at least 1 gunner warrior and the Hormagaunts just because of volume.
Yeah, you crush it. I mean, even not on the killing side, but just for the objective side, like you crush the scoring game.
Mhm. Yeah, and it just to me doesn't seem like it's a ton of fun. I would think I prefer to run the Genestealer Cult just because I mean, they have stubbers and pistols and hand flamers, rock saws, rock drills,
all those
rock
options.
cutters.
Well,
I
think one thing that's interesting though, Chris, is that like we're looking at it when we talk about it in that way. We're looking at it like apples for apples or kind of thing or something. Like it's more along the lines of they say when you meet at the table, you secretly pick your faction at that moment. And I think some of the beauty of the game is like I literally have 5 armies I can carry around in a shoebox. You can show up to the table and secretly pick one of your factions and drop it on the table. So, and based on the mission, you're like, oh, we're gonna play a mission that doesn't do well it's more about killing. I'm dropping my Harlequins down. And
wait, but that doesn't work at a tournament though. You have to pick one.
You're correct. You're correct. And then at least at that point, there's still the command roster. Which you're not always going to bring the Hormagaunt and 3 warriors.
No, you're true. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm a big fan of the command roster concept. I like the kind of sideboardy concept that it offers. This kind of game, I am not a fan of a sideboard in 40k. I know some people kind of like that idea.
They say it doesn't scale well, is what I've heard.
Exactly. That's the reason I don't like it in 40k. Is it doesn't scale well in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think for a game like Kill Team, it's not only good. I think it's almost necessary to keep the game fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that people overlook when they do points for points the command roster system, because I think some of the ways that things are dictated for cost is based on how they play with the command roster.
Well, because I mean, like, look at a narrative campaign, for example. In that situation, if one of your characters dies, you're gonna have to re-roll a new character, whatever. Like, you could have invested a huge amount into like a 7-model squad that you can never change, can never add on to, can never modulate. Like, even for narrative play, you have to have that sideboard.
Yeah.
If not, the game breaks down, I feel like.
Yeah. No, it's really fun whenever when you're having to make those decisions. Like, part of the thing that's annoying about list building is when you're that 1 point over or whatever, and you can't bring what you really want. But you never really have to have that dissatisfaction of not being able to bring what you want, because you can always kind of bring what you need to for the mission. And
so like, as a heads up, George, like as much as I want to be a part of a campaign, and this is kind of like up to this is not something we can always discuss, obviously, at a later point. I would very much like to kind of like DM some kind of event like that. Like, you have kind of like just like in Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. Like, you have someone who's kind of running the narrative scenarios to some extent, like the Dungeon Masters, whatever. Like, I would be.
Ollie and Ryan really want to do that.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I'm all about having chaos because they're not in the game yet. That's an awesome arch nemesis for all factions. Just have chaos.
That's certainly true.
Easy. That can rip. They have motivation to kill everything. So beauty.
You're right. I mean, you're not wrong.
I totally want to see a few kill teams try to kill a bloodthirster.
That would be very difficult, but it's possible.
So fun. That'd be such a good time.
Yeah.
You know, to see those high wound counts like really be substantial and because that's the thing is that like weapons and like models with just an extra wound all of a sudden have so much more impact than they do. There's so much more of a finite you know, world there that, you know, all of a sudden you do more than one damage on a weapon and it's like, holy shit.
I just really, I'll be honest, I love the potential for a narrative campaign because I remember, for me, one of my best gaming kind of memories is back in 4th. We were running a campaign where in 40k, you know, we had bases, we had like army banners moving across a board we had built representing, you know, you would gain kind of like supply points where you could invest in your army every turn, whatever. And you know, like if two players met each other, like their icons on the field of like, it was like Risk almost.
Yeah.
Uh, it was a ton of fun. But one of the cool things is, you know, like kind of through like the game mastering sort of element, there was things we allowed that literally broke the normal constraints of the game, like, you know, like, and like just like you mentioned, like, you know, like running a bloodthirster, you know, like you could have rewards where like armies unlock like a character that is, you know, like let's say under 100 points.
Yeah.
Or something like that they normally can't run in kill teams, and that can be a special thing for like their team specifically.
Totally. Yeah, special weapons
the game has endless like nerd like Dungeons and Dragons potential. That's kind of part of what I like about it, and like a lot of the classic 40k gamers are gonna love that, because if you look at like Rogue Trader and earlier editions, those games played almost kind of like a 40k RPG versus like the war game it is now.
I've been checking out people's opinions, like on the Kill Team Facebook groups. There's a lot of banter going on, and it's fun to watch it's such a fresh thing that like everybody's asking the same questions, like what's good, or I like it for this reason, or whatever. And you know, some folks talk about how they enjoy the battle reports where these guys will. You know, they roll on the generator on like the disposition of each model, like how they behave and what their attitude is, and then then in game they'll role play that out, and it makes for a really entertaining game. Whenever like the guy who usually would never run into combat, you know, for some reason he's had a tortured past, and so he runs in swinging against anybody, you know. I guess, you know, that stuff adds a lot of fun to the game. I made my first command roster where I named all my guys. It was fun. You know,
that's cool, man.
Put a little attitude.
I dig it. I mean, that element is almost part of the same reason why I wanted to kind of start a Death Watch army in 40k. You know, like you have that kind of character individuality.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like, I mean, the competitive gamer, the purely competitive gamer won't enjoy it as much, but like the RP element is kind of fun.
Yeah. Did you see the first edition Gene Stealers I posted in that picture today?
I don't think I saw that today. I mean, I was at work most of the day, but
gotcha. Well, at Battlegrounds, I was going through the bit bins. I made like a Death Watch army. I made a Dark Eldar army. I made an Eldar army. I made a Guard army. Like I pulled out all these little fucking pieces that were painted up well and made all these different kill teams. And I settled on.
Dude, I need to go with you at some point, because like even Ali the other day like gave me 2 Aberrants because he bought like 4 of them. He was like, I only need like 2 for
Dude, I picked up a Grey Knight kill team and a dark. I
don't even want the kill teams. I just need to like dude, like I'll buy up zone trips all day on the cheap. Like
they have some what are the Biovores? They have the really old school ones, dude. Like they're like,
oh, they're hideous.
They are, but it's hilarious looking too.
I hate them.
What do you think about the really old Gene Stealers? I think they look kind of cool.
They're okay. I don't hate them. Yeah. You know, like they're similar enough to their current incarnation. Hydrocast, the guys who I got, you know, that like the Neurothreat model I run, that's the one on the Eldar like Spire thing.
Right.
They're starting to do a Biovore cast, and I'm super excited for that because I love all their stuff. Like they're the Tyrannid Bone Sword third-party bits, the Neurothrope / Doom of Malantai conversion. They even so at one point Tyrannids didn't have models for the Turvagon and the Drop Pod, the Tyrannocyte.
Yeah.
He was one of the early third-party companies that had models for those.
Respect.
And they're both kind of cool. I mean, granted, I think of all the third-party sites, not to diss his line, I think of all the third-party sites, his incarnations ended up being the furthest from what Games Workshop ended up going with on those 2 different examples.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I love some of his stuff, like his Warrior Prime, his Red Terror, his Death Leaper, amazing models.
Yeah. You just reminded me I need to find that picture that James posted with the Tyranids, which we should pull James on the screen here. James, you started working on that Tyranid terrain yet? How you doing, bro?
No, I have not started working on the Tyranid terrain. I have a shit ton of Dark Elder to get done for Ali for Nova since you sold your Champs ticket.
Right.
And then I have your Shadespire Warband to get done.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I got some stuff to do.
Dude,
yeah.
I'm so excited for Ali. Like,
and I don't know if Ali like knows this or not. I said I was going to surprise him with his bomber because I'm doing like his Razor Wings right now. But his bomber, I have LEDs for. And I'm just gonna throw LEDs in it, and I haven't told him yet.
Oh,
that's cool. I'm not gonna tell him.
I am not either. That's too.
So I don't know if he's watching or not. He might be watching. I don't know.
He's playing kill teams.
So, yeah. So I'm planning on throwing LEDs. I just bought a new soldering iron to get on that. I found all my old resistors and shit, so I can make it legit. I just had to buy some battery packs. They get here Monday.
I was gonna buy that L wire stuff and put it in the terrain for the tournament coming up, but I couldn't get it in here in time, so I didn't order it yet.
Yeah,
that's gonna look cool too.
Yeah, lights are fun.
Yeah, I'm ready to mess with it. I don't have
any
any
soldering. All these
soldering.
planes have like these perfect like jet engine holes.
Sure.
And LEDs look great coming out of them.
Oh yeah, no, that's great, dude. Any way to light up the cockpit a little bit? That'd be pimp.
I might be able to drill a hole where like the kind of the back of the LED from inside the jet can shine through.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. I don't know yet.
Here's that
pieces waiting.
Here's a picture of that terrain. This is from 3D Horizon or Horizon 3D. I always mix it up. Which one is it?
I think it's Horizon 3D.
Horizon 3D. There's some 3D printed custom Tyranid terrain that we Chris purchased. And James has it. That water bottle's there for an example of size. We're looking forward to seeing that painted up. You got a sweet mat that we're looking to put it on, all that stuff. Made a mention of Nova. Here's a shot of Nova last year. I am so hype. I mean, this is pretty much what my brain is on right now is Nova, the tournament this weekend, Warp Charge Gaming Doubles Battle in the Warp. That's featured on the Best Coast Pairing app, ITC official, happening in Gallery 5. I can't wait. Oh, my God. That's this Sunday.
I'm really hype on that. Also, what up, Ice Wolf?
Oh, Ice Wolf jumped in. What's up, Ice Wolf? Cool. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, we're going to Nova.
So,
there's you, Chris. There's you last year next to that, a Warlord Titan?
Oh, man. I love that picture. Also, so I'm really sad. Oh, dude, my hair is so short. But anyway, while you guys did Nova, I will not be able to attend, sadly. Right. I'll be in Poland. But one thing I want to do is I'm trying to visit Cromlech Studios in Poland. A lot of you guys are probably familiar because they're like orc casts. They have like the kind of like World War II third-party casts. I would love to get in studios, but there's like in Warsaw, there's like 3 different like huge third-party Warhammer bits sites, and I would love to just get in studio and like tour these things in person. I'm sure they have all kinds of goodies there at their home stores. Last time I tried to go to not Cromlech, I forget which caster it was, but it was tragic because I couldn't really see very much because of the fact that they were renovating part of their building. And like for normal hours of operation, like it was hours the game stores normally open, but they were closed for like hardware renovation. Like they were taking down walls and shit.
Gotcha.
But
I suppose said he's rocking 20 RGB LEDs in his upcoming piece. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know so many people that are huge fans of Firefly.
Yeah, that's dope.
I know nothing about the series. Well, I know kind of a little bit about the series, but not enough about the series.
Well, just to throw out, because I got some pictures loaded up, and just to mention again, because we are really hype about this upcoming event, we might have some viewers watching right now that'll be checking out. We're going to be live streaming on Sunday. This will be our second official Warp Charge Gaming tournament. This one's a doubles.
Wait, it's this Sunday?
Yeah, dude.
Oh man, I get a trophy this Sunday. That's dope.
Yeah, we got medals, we got trophies. The plaques are going to be worth for the players that take first.
Chris, didn't you lose your practice game?
I did. I did horribly, actually. But you know what? That was there have been some changes made, and to be frank,
okay.
there was a lot of things that could have happened. But beyond, I don't fault the list or the commanders. Like Ollie and Ryan played wonderfully. That's my point there. I don't want to be like, oh, like anything was overpowered. I know Ali even felt very much terrain favored their armies, but at the same time, I wanted to highlight to him, and this is a big point I made with him and Ryan, Tau with all of their fly against Tyranids, like unless you're running a bunch of flying hive tyrants, having a lot of fly is very good against Tyranids if you have
also that Doom combo, dropping that Doom from the Eldar power, so that
it's like classic Taudar. Like literally, it's a psychic power that Tau can take advantage of that the Eldar are casting with the reroll to wound. It's a wonderful power. Carson and even Carson made the point like we should have pulled a stratagem to increase the pylon's armor save right off the bat because I mean, dude, 2 Riptides took out the pylon. Like it was nasty.
Yeah. Well, it sounds valuable, like a valuable game.
It was. I mean, I've made some minor changes to my list. I was looking at 2 different variants of the list I could have run, and largely it was looking at 2 different halves of my standard 2K list that has done very well for me lately.
Mm-hmm.
I played Connor twice yesterday, and game 1 was a good game. Game 2, I just kind of like ran over Connor.
So Connor still hasn't. Connor's never beat Chris, James. So there's a rivalry there, and what's that say about me? Because I beat Chris quite a few times, but then Connor's beat me lots of times. This is this weird situation. We got this weird trifecta going on.
Yeah.
Even though I struggled hella against the list you're talking about right now.
No, you're completely right, George. This list is gross. I feel like it's noob proof because I feel like I'm not the best competitive 40k gamer, and I'm doing really well with this list. And I don't feel like I'm a great player so much as this list is good, and I happen to have fallen upon it.
I hear you. Well, I would disagree that you're not a good player, but but I do totally agree that it's a damn good list. Particularly the 3 terrain effects are the star of the show.
Yeah, the only time I've ever played with Chris, we played against cheaters and we still won.
That's true. That's not a bad point. That's not a bad point.
When I played with him at Adepticon, he was fucking falling over drunk and we still won. Like literally passed out at the table, like nudging him, like, "Hey, dude, roll this shit," and we still won. That was a great game too, dude. We got hype.
I think you're talking about the game where I got tabled?
Yeah. But we still won. It was great. It was Grey Knights and Admech.
That was a good game. I loved that game.
Yeah. Icewolf was asking if any of us have been to Gen Con. Haven't made Gen Con, Icewolf. I'm not even super familiar with all that it is. I just know that a shit ton of people go.
Icewolf, I have a lot of friends that go to Gen Con for non-40k reasons.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of that. But I really would love to go to Gen Con more for like the tabletop gaming element.
Is there a big tabletop gaming tournaments there? I didn't feel like there is.
It's not super large. It's not like a Adepticon or anything like that.
Okay.
But it's still a GT.
Okay, gotcha.
Not a major.
GT and difference between GT and major. Do you know off the top of your head?
Nope. I think it's like 30 to 50.
It's got to be a number of players, but I don't know what the
they both have to be 5 rounds, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, minimum 5 rounds is the amount of players. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 27 to 50 is GT land. Well, over 50 you get into major land.
Major land.
Which is what I'd like to do. Chris, I don't know if you heard caught wind, but I'm trying to do another Warp Charge Gaming, the 3rd Warp Charge Gaming Invitational. I want it to actually be where I invite 50 plus people that like pre-register. And I'm going to try to do it just like give people 6 months in advance. I'm telling you now, hell, you could even be Ice Wolf. You got time, dude. You're in the Netherlands. You got 6 months though, bro. Fly on down with all your crazy LEDs and play in the Warp Charge Gaming Invitational. You're invited, bro. You're invited.
I will say, and I know other people in the area are probably more than 100% down on this as well. If it comes to 40k travelers, there will be accommodations for those that don't want to break the bank. Like,
Totally.
There will be rooms to sleep in, couches, cots, other beds.
Exactly.
Like, I promise.
You'll be out of the rain. That's about it.
Well,
exactly.
Dude, remember
I'll go as far to say that I will feed you. Like.
Yeah. Dude, especially if you're Ice Wolf, dude. Ice Wolf, you got to spot my crib, dude. If you fly here. Which, by the way, I don't know if you ever met Tumby before, Chris, but Tumby I met him on Discord, and he lives.
He's a Bucks player.
Yeah, he lives in New Zealand. And he's an awesome dude. And he was telling me he's flying to Las Vegas with his bros for a first time to America trip, and he's gonna hang around after they go back. And was talking about coming to see like DC and New York and shit. He's gonna fly through is the plan, and we're gonna game for like as many days as he can stay, and we're just gonna game.
He plays Bugs.
He plays Bugs Tau. He's pretty fresh on 40k, and it's more like he's played in the virtual environment. It's crazy money in New Zealand, Australia. Remember?
Yeah. Does he have any 40k models?
I don't know if he has any. He knows the game well. Like, dude's a freak. I mean, he watches a shit ton of videos and then plays virtually.
When is this happening?
I think it's later this year. I'm not sure exactly when. He said he's gonna get back to me. Yeah, but
Tumby, I don't know if you're watching, but if you come down, I'm gonna have a gift for you.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Dude, Tumby's so cool. That'd be so fun. Milo says he wishes he has a passport. No kidding, dude. Let's get this going. You got 6 months. That's what I'm telling you now, Milo. Milo, you were invited to the Warp Charge Gaming Invitational. It's gonna be off the chains, man. I don't know if they say that out in the Dutch land, off the chains, but it's going to be. And that means that it's going to be cray-cray. Wow.
That means the dog is loose.
The dog is loose. Who let the dogs out? Who?
Everyone knows that song.
I'm pretty excited, right? My dog just came up and kissed me. What a nice dog. You guys can't see it. I will show you the Warp Charge Gaming Invitational thumbnail that James made. This you can go back on our page to one of our first few videos, and you can actually watch the montage. It's actually Chris and I are featured on that video talking about what this Warp Charge Gaming Invitational event was and is. And we've done it 2 years in a row, and what it is a birthday tournament. Basically, what do I want for my birthday? All my homies to come play me, right? So it's basically all the Warp Charge gamers, before we even were Warp Charge gamers, would gather and play for the last 2 years around my birthday. And we do their tournaments in houses, with all the homies. So we're drinking, having a great time, and just playing games with your friends in a competitive nature. But we usually, cash prizes, usually pretty worthwhile winnings amongst friends, of course.
Yeah.
Man, comparatively, I mean, even the last year, even going to I'm having all these reflections from going to Nova last year to now, because last year at Nova was kind of the this major motivating factor for me to jump off the cliff. And
dude, I gotta be honest, Nova last year, I'm sincerely sad to say I can't go. Not just for the fact that I really want to take my list out there and give it a crack, but freaking
the hang,
last time was it was an experience. It was a formative 40k experience. I can understand.
Party, dude. We partied, man.
I can understand why it was a big factor in you starting Warp Charge Gaming, because I was there.
Yeah.
At the Nova, and it was ridiculous. It was a blast. It was competitive. The scene was infectious.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so excited. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, for Ali. I don't think he understands what he's walking into. Because if he has even similar to an experience that I had, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah, I'm gonna miss that you're gonna be there too, man. But yeah, dude, like that was my first time seeing, like, for years, I think about 3.5, 4 years worth of consuming internet content from mini wargaming, the Long War, et cetera, because there's a ton of them. But seeing the Frontline Gaming, seeing those cats there in person, and the designers of 40, seeing the GW designers all the way from the UK, an international event. The whole, like, the first time using Best Coast Pairing app and having the tournament like feel like this giant video game, and like the night before you're like drinking with your buddies and getting to see who your opponent is and strategizing how you're going to take them on.
Oh, dude, it's such an experience. Like the Best Coast Pairing app, that's one thing. That's one of the biggest differences. Like, gaming has changed very much from 4th edition to 8th edition of 40k, very much. I mean, people that have been there even earlier than it's changed even more so. But like the technology, man.
Oh yeah.
It's made such a formative difference. Battlescribe is amazing. I mean,
God's
you had
gift.
Army Builder back in the day,
Yeah.
but you had to pay annually for like a subscription,
Which
and
you actually
it was
do.
still limited.
You got to do that in Battlescribe, but it's only $2 a year.
Well, you absolutely should.
But you don't have to. You don't have to, though.
But you don't have to.
Right.
And then beyond that, just dice roller apps and
right.
40k forums are way bigger. Like I remember back in the day, it was like pretty much what was it, Bolter and Chainsword and Spiky Bits, or not Spiky Bits, Bell Lost Souls.
Yeah.
Those were like the 2 big sites, and like if it wasn't on those, like it wasn't.
Yeah,
huge.
There's so much availability.
DACA got huge, and Tyranid Hive, and like there's so many different repositories like Fayette, and like technology has completely turned this hobby upside down on its face.
Not even mentioning the models getting 10 times better.
I mean, look at Tabletop Simulator.
Oh God, amazing. Yeah, no, we're in sick times. Yeah, did you see? I posted a weird link on our Facebook group about this. Like, you just put this like big screen in front of you, and it gives you a virtual environment in real time, like the same way you like play Pokemon Go or any of those. What do they call it? Augmented reality.
Yeah,
so
AR games.
Yeah, so it's like you're looking at what's in front of you, but there's like virtual stuff superimposed upon it. It's basically like this big screen you put in front of you, and then everything on the tabletop now interacts with that. You can see like invisible models and everything. It was pretty cool. It's not that cool, but it's innovative, and I just like technology, so it's neat.
Oh, I mean, like that's so through degrees of connection, I don't know the guy, but he is like an acquaintance. But he's a guy in like Netherlands who's like a president of like a VR company. And like, dude, like some of the stuff this dude does is fascinating. Just like, I mean, and this is the thing, all the people on VR, like all the 40k gamers I know in the back of their head are going, dude, VR 40k, just do it. Just do it, man.
Right.
Like that would be so fun.
I feel like with the VR technology, you probably already can play Tabletop Simulator with VR.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it would be awesome if it was widely accessible and digitally connected, but
yeah,
it's less.
It's great getting there. It's heading that way.
Mm?
Yeah, people are definitely getting those systems in their home.
I'm honestly not sure, Ice Wolf. This is someone who I know through a family member. But I mean, literally, I have met them like in passing. I'm not well acquainted with them.
Yeah. He's getting it at a later time. Yeah, dude, totally. Ice Wolf makes me think of Space Wolves, which reminds me that our Space Wolf giveaway is over, but we do have another one coming up. And I think that we've decided that we're going to feature our new dice. Bam. We got some beautiful new dice on the way.
Wait. We're getting new dice?
Yeah, we're getting new dice, dog. Look at all those beautiful colors. What? Yep, those are coming. And we're on our next giveaway. We are going to give the winner a color of their choice. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think that's pretty fun.
And no, Ice Wolf, I don't believe that's the same individual. I could be wrong.
It's, I guess, Netherlands is fairly small. Icewolf's well connected. He's like, is it that one guy? There's only so many VR guys.
I mean, it can't be the biggest market ever, but you know, simultaneously, you know.
Nice, Icewolf. I hope you win some dice, bro. Because you deserve to win. Milo, I want you to have good luck as well.
What would it cost to ship Icewolf out some dice?
It can't be that bad.
More than the dice cost.
Yeah. But we you know, if he wins it, we sure as hell will. Yeah, we will. Good luck, Icewolf. We're not live yet.
I was gonna say Icewolf, and this is something George can negotiate for you. You know, I will personally
suck your dick.
Oh my god.
I will personally throw in the cost of one set of die for you if you cop the shipping. So please buy some die.
Oh, there you go. I think that's a great deal. That is a great deal. admin@warpchargegaming.com. Feel free to PayPal us all your money out there, friends. But Icewolf, if you just want to send us the amount of shipping, it looks like Chris will cover you on the cost of a set of dice. Or you can just win, you know, or you get 2 sets. That goes Milo too. I'll cut if I'm feeling Chris's generosity. I'll match Milo's shipping. Or I'll give Milo a set if Milo pays shipping as well. admin@warpchargegaming.com. Because those guys are cool. So you guys heard it. Figure out how much it costs to ship some dice to you, and then we'll cover the dice. Here is some shirts, and you can't have those. You could have, but you didn't, and so you're not right now, anyways. But those are our cool shirts that are coming. We had an open group buy that was featured on some of our last talk shows to say, hey, go to our Facebook. You can jump in the group and buy some. I don't think we had too many YouTubers do such a thing, so I'm sorry if you're looking at this and being like, damn, I want one, but you missed out. Maybe next time. I love you. Get some dice. This Sunday, we're going to be streaming with Death Ray Designs Forgotten Outpost set, now painted up. Got some help from James Sheets. Here's a little bit of a snapshot. Doesn't do it justice. It is awesome terrain. Love Death Ray Designs. And I love all our sponsors. Here's a little heads up to who those are. Battlegrounds. I was there all day working with the game store, talking about opportunities and possibilities and what's going down. Crystal Fortress. I brought all my kill teams in Crystal Fortress because they're badass. And then Game Out of UU, where actually every mat at our tournament coming up this weekend, Warp Charge Gaming Battle in the Warp, is going to be a Game Out of U because those guys rule. And the Death Ray design will be on the top table, and you can see it on the stream. So that's some news for you. So I had to throw it out there. I'm excited about it. Oh, my gosh. Kill Teams, Tournament, and Nova. That's what's on my mind, friends. As well as Warp Charge Gaming. I've been really thinking hard about how to take us to another level, and I really feel like a big part of that is consistent content and more of it. Felt like we've been a little underperforming, underwhelming when it comes to battle reports and stuff lately. It's been difficult. All these Warp Charge gamers are working their tails off, earning money from the man, and we can't get any games on.
George!
What? We're going to game? What? I'm ready, dude. Let's go right now.
You want a game, man?
Yeah, drive your ass over here. Let's go.
Yo, okay. So, literally, every Wednesday, what? You have gig stuff Wednesdays, right?
Nope, not anymore. My client is now remote. He has moved to New Hampshire for the next 13 weeks, so I do all my work musically remotely now.
Well, okay, so for the next 13 weeks, what's going to happen is Wednesday early afternoons, like noon to like 6, we're going to take a chess clock and we're going to get in 2 games of 40k.
Whoa. We got to throw kill teams in there, dude. We got to throw
we can
kill
do that.
Teams. Oh, let's split it in half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. I'm down. But we're going to get in some damn games. We're going to put down the gauntlet on some content. Because, like, literally, yesterday, that's what I did with Connor. You know, we got out the chess clock, and we murdered 2 games of 40k. And granted, game 2 didn't take that long.
Connor, where you at, bro? Do you hear that? He's talking shit.
But to be fair,
shit talking when it's true.
Oh.
But that game just did not go good. So we won't have to mention that again, Chris. Yeah, no, absolutely. We should get into more games. Monday nights are kind of weird. I can definitely get in content on Mondays for sure.
Well,
if
dude,
you wanna extra tap content,
100% yes. And you know that I'm hype on playing some kill teams right now, especially for Nova. Right now, I need to prep, dude. Like I'm in training mode.
Shouldn't he be Shadespiring too?
I feel more confident in that game.
Man, George is just like the Big Dig Ben to the Shadespire. Went down to a tournament one day and was
I'm
like
not afraid.
smacked face.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of Shadespire. I feel like I got. I mean,
you win one tournament, it's like I'm gonna retire.
No, I'm strong at that game. And it's not nearly as in depth as kill teams. That takes a lot. There's a lot more variables, a lot more practice.
George.
Yes.
I'm gonna roll all my saves on one Gene Stealer that assaults all your models.
That's fine.
Dude, he's just gonna rock one Gene Stealer, nothing else.
Well, we know what happens when he rocked 4 Lictors.
It did not go well.
It
was not a good matchup.
And dude, my Talos are way better than that now.
I was gonna say, I mean, back then I didn't feel like it was a good matchup, and you feel like you've way optimized it more since then.
Oh yeah,
you were saying that, and I was like,
oof,
that's
all about gun drones. I just took out
like
Ryan with his Adeptus Astartes. He played Space Marines. I just beat him with Tal. That was cool. I like winning sometimes.
Wait, Deathwatch is an army.
Deathwatch, yeah, that's what I was saying. I built a Deathwatch team. There's actually some really nice Reavers or Intercessors in the bits boxes, and I was like, damn, I could just buy a Deathwatch team right now.
Hey, James, Milo in chat is asking what you're working on at the moment.
I am working on a Razor Wing.
Oh, yeah.
Cabal of the Blackheart.
Is it going to be painted like those Latok ones you painted?
Nope. Cabal of the Blackheart. Just said it.
Oh, yeah. I just had pictures of the other ones to be like, yeah, check these. Here's the other ones that James painted for Ali. The ones he's painting now are going to the same guy, but Dark Elder. Or Drukari.
Yeah. This is for his Nova list. The Latok, or whatever how you say it, is for the Battle in the Warp doubles and probably the Nova team.
Here's also what James is getting ready for Nova for Warp Charge Gamers. He's going to send that to me for Shadespire. Some sweet orcs. Been painting that on stream every Wednesday. Tuned in a little bit for you last night, James. Said, what's up?
Yeah.
I was driving, though, when I was watching. I really think I saw some video tutorial paintings, right? Oh, and by the way, this Saturday, I'm going to Battlegrounds and filming a painting class by this really dank painter. And I'm going to attempt to edit his class in a way that I want to see, in a way that I'd like to see what we could do with your content, James. Because what I really like is I've seen some painters where they okay, so here's what I'm going to do. And I hear you do this on your shit, and you say what paints you're using, what your technique, the order of your the way you're gonna do the paint, and how you're gonna do the highlights on these edges and these kind of highlights on those, and those sound bites are the teaching parts. And when somebody's watching, they have to watch you just go through those motions when really the information and then kind of just a little bit of the brush technique and the finished product is what needs to be seen. And the versus watching the whole thing to edit out those moments where you talk. So it's I could watch the whole 2 hours of you painting and find those moments you say something and then, try to do the same concept. But it can be even more streamlined if you I don't know, clap your hands or do some sort of start stop of when the moment is that's a visual cue that I can easily find in the video.
I already have one, brah.
What is it?
I flashed the color in front of the camera.
Oh, okay. So boom, that's easy. So you sound clip, color, and then I take the sound clip, I do it in real time for the first few strokes of you kind of showing where you're applying it and getting the general gist. After about 10-20 seconds of that, time lapse to the next moment where the next soundbite would be, and it's bing. It's all right, so it's like a cooking show, they're all right, I'm going to put all these ingredients together. Let me put it in the oven. And then next thing you know, here it is out of the oven, I want to try to do that with your content. I probably could even just try to practice it with a Twitch video. It's mainly about you knowing that that'll be kind of the end goal, so that at each one of those moments, we need to get you a lazy Susan or whatever, so that at each one of those moments where you would show off the work that you were just expressing in the last soundbite, you jump to a lazy Susan, makes a 360 rotation, then go to the next motion with the paint job.
360 rotation of what?
Of the model to what you just applied. Like if it was your base coat, you're like, okay, I'm going to do a base coat. Here's the colors I'm going to use. You start painting the base coat. Time lapse it to when the base coat's done. 360 on this lazy Susan. All right, now I'm going to do this layer with wash. Here's what it looks like after wash. You apply the wash, time lapse all that moment, put it on the lazy Susan. Here's what it looks like with wash on it. So you're just saying what you're doing, time lapsing to the moment that you've completed what you said you were going to do, and show it on a 360 for each one of those moments. So it's kind of like each stair step of its phase. You have, instead of those pictures, we can have like a 360 video with you talking on it. I found a good example online. You know, I feel like you're grasping what I'm getting at, but I'll try to find an example to talk more about later. But I want to
this lazy Susan idea. I'm hating.
Why, you don't like lazy Susan? What's up?
No, it's not that I don't like lazy Susan. You're trying to add time to my painting.
I mean, a couple spins on a lazy Susan, that's pretty fast. Plus, you got to let that shit dry anyways.
Well, the way I paint is I go back and forth and stuff. So if I'm going to like put it on lazy Susan to show what I just did, you're talking like every other brush stroke would be me showing it.
Not every brush. You do it because you do like a color and a concept, right? Like you hit your metals, you hit your trim, right?
For base coating, but once I'm done base coating, the real painting begins. Base coating is literally just like blocking in the colors. I feel like that's paint by number. If you don't know how to do that, you should learn how to do that before watching anyone paint.
Yeah.
True.
But once it goes into like edge highlighting, wet blending, things of that nature, that's like step by step. Like you got to watch me do it. And
yeah,
for me to stop and like show it and then like continue, it'd be a lot of time that you're adding.
I think, well, you know, for people that are watching the content, oftentimes too, they already are painters, and a lot of times it seems like they just want to know your colors and then what order in which you're using the colors. And it's more or less like, you know, the way this guy was doing it, nice and packaged. It seemed more like he was, you know, just showcasing the colors and orders that he was using it in, and when he was doing washes versus not washes, or the way that he layered up starting with a light color and building up to the end result. So there's got to be a way that we can make better.
There's definitely a way.
Yeah, better, more polished content, and while making it more consumable is what I'm looking for. But yeah, I'm gonna keep brainchilding that. Just food for thought. I want to make all of our stuff better, particularly. I like looking at I've been watching a lot of other videos and stuff, and trying to pick up little bits and tips or what they do that's just kind of not anything special, and what we can be for sure a little bit stronger at. It's not a competition out there, but we definitely want to be the best we can be, and we definitely need to build our audience. And I feel like consistency is a big part of that. 7 days a week of content you can count on. You know, people being able to say, cool, every Wednesday I'm going to do this. Every Thursday at 9, I want to tune in. I think we do got some folks that like to watch this regularly. I always see Milo and iSwift jump in, and that's awesome. We appreciate you guys. We need to get more people hype on that. But yeah, just food for thought. Lots of thinking.
Cool. You done talking about Kill Team?
What about Kill Team? What?
Are you done talking about Kill Team?
Yeah.
Because I have nothing to say when you guys are talking about Kill Team. Literally, you're talking about narrative stuff, and like I'm like, shoot, I would never play that. So I have like no comments on that shit.
Well, what is on your mind, James? What would be cool to talk about in the 40k universe? We got new ITC, right?
Yeah. New ITC missions coming up is cool. The fact that there's more and more double tournaments. Like we got our doubles tournament going on. I got a doubles tournament the 25th of this month and the 22nd of next month to go to. So really enjoy the doubles.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But these new ITC missions are going to be interesting. Just by changing a couple little things, like in-game stuff, like having extra points than what we normally are used to. It's pretty cool. Because of those that think about, hey, I'm still in this, even though they're like 5 points ahead, but there's like a 6 objective mission, you can still come out on top if you play it right. So I dig some in-game stuff. Makes it harder for me because I have a very early game strength in my army. After turn 4, it gets pretty rough for me.
I'll check that ice. I will check that out, Ice Wolf.
Yeah, I've checked out that before too, and I like Ice Wolf's intro, but I haven't seen his painting tutorial, so I'll definitely look into that as well, Ice Wolf. Yeah, right on. ITC new missions. I know I'm usually a lot more hyped than about that than I am right now. I think I'm currently a bit disenfranchised until I get a Space Wolves or Orc Codex. It's like without those, I'm just not very motivated.
Well, when you talk about Kill Team, I'm not very motivated.
George,
what are we gonna do, George? What are we gonna do?
We're gonna take turns talking about things that we're motivated about.
George.
Yes.
What's gonna happen is that Orc or Space Wolf Codex is coming out. Like we're gonna get another tease at the Nova for Space Wolves and Orcs, and then the Space Wolves Codex is gonna come out, and they're not gonna release the Orcs Codex for like another year just to fuck with Sam.
Oh my god. Yeah, I swear to you, I will be hype as shit when I get some codexes for the models that I feel like playing with. But
dude, let me tell you, you have no idea how excited I am, cause like I feel almost cheated, George. Like I wanted to play as competitively and gung-ho as you did in 7th, but Tyranids were so bad.
Right.
And like now I feel like I have a good book and I'm just like all about it. I'm just like, especially right now that I'm on a roll, I'm just like, dude, like yeah, let's smash this shit. Let's do it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I can't wait to have some cool benefits, like, I don't know, fight again in combat, you know, like a second time, like the folks have. I don't know.
So, George, I mean, this is another big thing, you know, like a lot of, this is just the general strength of Tyranids, you know, like a lot of people have the fight again stratagem,
right,
and a lot of people have the shoot again stratagem. Tyranids, I think, is the only army, if not one of, like, the only 2 armies that has both.
How about the same, man? Because I use both. I got Berserkers that can fight 3 times in combat. I got a Khorne Demon Prince that can fight twice. And everything else is Mark of Slaanesh that can shoot twice.
Yeah, that's only Mark of Slaanesh, though. Tyranids literally have 2 general stratagems that any Hive fleets can use.
Yep.
You got a +1 to wound? Do you have a +1 to wound, sir?
On one type of weapon, and it's terrible.
Oh, because I could do it for my Slaanesh dudes, and then they get to shoot twice.
That's gross.
Oh.
Right on. Yeah, I sure wish I had some stratagems. Maybe if I got some more stratagems, I could have fun again.
Space Wolves will absolutely get a fight twice against stratagem. That is
3d6 charge.
The real question is it going to be a 2 CP one or a 3 CP one? Because all of them are 3. All of them are 3 CP except for the Zangors.
Yeah, interesting. What'll be really annoying to me is if they only do it on like infantry models, like Blood Cause or something. Because I literally there's a huge amount of Space Wolf infantry at Battlegrounds if I wanted them, but I don't. I want to play with wolves. I want to play with Thunderwolf Cav and Fenrisian Wolves.
Your twice is going to be Wolfen only.
George, I mean, my models aren't super cool, but if you want, I still have a bunch of Space Wolf painted stuff I haven't gotten rid of. Like, as far as tactical Marines and stuff, I know you don't want to play with them, but if you want to run them for the sake of running them.
We'll see when the Codex drops. It may be a necessity. Lord knows they're going to want me to have every part of the book that there is.
I mean, I think with your army, you should absolutely go with the real models because they're super cool. Like, mine are literally, like, old edition tactical Marines that were probably, like, different chapters that I've just repainted over.
So they're blue? Screw it. Let's go. No, I'm just kidding.
They're Space Wolves blue with, like, trim.
Yeah.
And I have like Space Wolf snipers.
There actually is. I definitely wouldn't put that out of the realm of consideration if I needed them. There is some really nice painted ones though at Battlegrounds that just nobody cares about. There's so many Grey Knights, dude. There's like 8, if not 9, of those Dread Knights. Especially like when the rule of 3 dropped, like everybody liquidated all their Grey Knights.
Dude, I'm gonna have to pick up Grey Knights.
There's a huge, you could have a huge Grey Knight army at Battlegrounds, and it's been sitting there so long that I know we could work you out some deals on that shit.
I almost want to pick them up because someday they're gonna be good again, and when they're good again, I'm gonna be like, I've had this Grey Knights armor for 4 editions.
All lies, because custodies replaced them.
You're not wrong. And custody should be better, but they should also be priced in a scalar way.
Dude, they're both elite armies that are Marines.
I think it's
one's just good against demons, the other one's just good against everything. So why take the one that's only good against demons?
Well, I was gonna say the ones that are good against everything, even in the fluff, are like even better than the Marines.
Yeah.
Like that's their MO, you know, like
each one is basically a character, like a lord or
Golden
a captain.
Boys.
So, yeah.
That don't impress me much. Nice, dude.
Yeah,
Tastes
painting
like
stuff.
Cool, man. I like it. I like it. But yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
Speaking of hobby stuff, super excited to find out from, I think it was Trey. It was either Trey or Patrick. I'm pretty sure it was Trey.
Yeah.
That it was like, oh yeah, that chariot, the exalted beach chariot or the exalted Slanesh chariot, can make 2 of the Herald chariots. I was like, oh wait, I can get 2 HQ choices out of the Start collecting box that they just don't tell you about. That's great.
That's funny. Yeah, I could probably grab up a picture of your current work in progress. Looks like you were making some good headway there, Chris.
I had some assembled models in the last pictures.
Gotcha.
But they're not done, but they're ready to be played with. I'm gonna
That's
work
what
on.
She said.
And I'm definitely gonna be working on the 2 Herald chariots next, because that alone, I mean, 2 Herald chariots, that's like 120-ish points, I think, each. So, you know, 2 HQ choices, 1 troop choice so far, and an elite choice. Hey, Carson's online.
Yeah, Carson's on. I think Milo is asking. I think James, do you base spray the models?
What's Milo saying?
I imagine he's describing the planes. That's the last one we showed, unless he's talking to Chris about the Slanesh. But do you base spray your models, James?
I use an airbrush to put on my base coat. I do a 2-tone priming system, like a technique that I use, where it doesn't matter if I'm going to paint something super bright or even white. I always prime it black first. The reason I prime it black is when I take a lighter coat of primer, either gray if it's going to be dark or white if it's going to be bright, I hit it at a 45-degree angle all the way around, and it catches all my raised areas. So when I paint really light with the airbrush and do my transitions, it already has my like highlights and shadows naturally. So it's kind of like cheating, in my opinion. But that's how I base coat everything. So I'll use an airbrush after the primer's on, take out my base color of whatever the majority color is on the model, and I'll start out with a dark color of that, and then I'll do a medium tone, and then a highlight color of that. And then I'll go back to the original base color so that it accents all those pre-shadings from the primer. And then I'll maybe do a wash, or I'll just do the very tiny recesses with a wash. And then I just pick out my other details with a flat color. And then from there, I wet blend all my stuff I flat colored. Because I've already did the primer in such a way that it looks wet blended. So the rest of it I do by hand wet blending.
Nice.
Dope.
That's my style of painting. It's very time consuming. I use lots of colors, but I like the finished product.
James does use a lot of colors. I can vouch for that.
That's true. So, yo, this is kind of a loaded question here. We got some people checking us, watching right now. It's cool. I feel like we got some conversation. Roland Carson's here. So I'm gonna ask this question: what do you guys think would be some good things to see in the next chapter approved?
I want to see shooting at characters on a 6-up.
I like that rule. I like that idea.
I still want to see that. Like let people snap fire at characters trying to hide. It's not amazing. It's not, I feel like, game breaking. I mean, yes, with volume of fire, it's still gonna be a factor. I mean, auto hit weapons are still gonna have to be able to target the character the closest to even be able to target them. So that's not gonna work.
I got one right off command farms.
Write it off.
I'd say that'd be my first thing that pops to mind is that
I think all the command point regain rules should only be on a 6-up.
That's what a lot of people want.
Yeah.
I think what should be better, because like I understand the fluff aspect of command point regen, but I think it should be you only can have like one of those abilities in your army instead of stacking and stacking, stacking.
Yeah.
You only get one.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Tau. If you're a Tau player, you have one codex. You only have one way to get command points back on a roll. If you're an Imperium player, you can have 3 ways.
Yeah, it's just like the feel no pain rule. You know, they don't let you stack feel no pains anymore. You couldn't take this. You know, just
so like the ones that get it on a 5-up of their own or a 5-up of their opponents, like I get it. Like you are tactically like very good general. You can see into the future, so you have this ability to steal command points or regain if you use them. I don't mind it.
I like
it's just when it gets crazy.
Yeah, I feel ya. I like Ice Wolf and Carson's. Carson says he wants a cheaper pylon.
That's a true story.
Yeah. And Ice Wolf had a good one. I like his. He'd like to see less mixed armies, max of 2 codexes, including Forge World. Ooh, I can respect that. I definitely don't love soup. I mean, like I'm not in. I mean, guard is like I get it. Like guard's pretty throw into whatever. But I don't like different chapters being mixed together. It just doesn't feel right most of the time, unless you're Death Watch. And there's an army for that, you know. Death Watch does it. That's what they do. But like intermixing Blood Angels with Ultramarines feels dumb. Personally.
Or specifically to mention what has been a constant elephant in the room, especially in 7th edition, freaking Dark Angels and Space Wolves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like literally chapters that hate each other, and it's been a constant like, oh yeah, you can take Azrael for that 4-up, like aura, invulnerable save.
And they literally put in the codex a stratagem that works if your army is built of Dark Angels and Space Wolves.
I mean, but it's based off of like their hatred of each other. Like that's kind of fluffy because like even in the fluff, like every time those chapters run into each other, they have like an honor duel.
Right.
But like.
Oh, Mike Vendusky says heavy destroyers in squads of 6 rather than 3. Is that how it used to be? Oh, we lost connection. What the hell does that mean? Shit. Sorry, I lost the homies, guys. Let's see what I can do here. That was weird. What the hell's going on here? Trying to log back into our hangout here, friends. Join meeting.
Approved had your stratagems and your warlord traits and stuff for your other units, like your other like armies that didn't have that stuff.
Yeah.
Now like, the armies will have that stuff, so I feel it's going to be more fluff, like as far as like taking the story in a direction, and then along with that, you're going to get missions, campaigns, things of that nature. And then they're going to do all your like army rule adjustments, your unit rule adjustments, point adjustments. Like I think Zangors are going to get cheaper or more expensive. I'm sorry, because right now like they're fairly cheap for a troop choice that can do a lot. So I see them going up like a couple points. they'll probably adjust things that you see a lot right now. Like as far as knights, I bet they get a huge adjustment as soon as Chapter Proof falls. I bet Agents of Vect will probably be limited to a once per game.
What's Agents of? That's the one where you deny their command
it's the
points.
counter stratagem.
It's the Dark Angels, or Eldar. Yeah.
I mean, Tide of Traitors was the strongest stratagem at the time, and then that got nerfed to only once per game. So I would see this happening because this is now the strongest stratagem in the game.
Right.
What I kind of would like to see, I think there's several Tyrannid creatures going to get points reductions because Tyranids as a standalone faction in almost every edition have had more unit choices than most armies. Which just from a number of units standpoint means you're going to have more crappy units because there's more units. The Maleceptor of the Haruspex, there's a lot of creatures that you never see fielded competitively. Just dropping their points could get them to see fielded play more.
Mm-hmm.
I think Games Workshop's, at least on Tyranids, may go back a little bit on the winged FAQ points hike because they went from 20 points to 50 points. What I would rather see is them to just cut that cost on Hive Tyrants.
That should be 25.
Because that would be amazing. Like, if I could get Walking Tyrants for just, like, even cheaper, like, if they cut that cost out of Walking Tyrants, I would be so happy.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't happen because they should make other Tyranid HQs good. There's so many Tyranid HQs that are just terrible.
What do you think about the rule of 3? You think they'll leave that intact? Call it a success?
I do.
I hope so. I like it. Like, you can still spam 3 of multiple things and have devastating effect. I think my current list suggests that a little bit. But
I'll tell you right now, another thing that jumped to mind is Forge World points. Fix a Stompa, not the Stompa's Forge World, but damn, that thing's way too expensive.
Oh, dude, there's so much Forge World that needs points adjustment.
Totally.
I mean,
in
like
both directions.
And yeah, Knights, even like the Forge World Knights that
absolutely.
became dwarfed by the regular Knights.
The hero jewels for Tyranids, for example, they're like Knight level creatures. They should be priced like Knights. They're priced too heavily. I would love to field them with my Tyranids, but you're never going to see me run them competitively. That's just the end of story. The Harridan, garbage for what it does. The Hierophant, I feel it's expensive for what it does, but once you get to the point where you're fielding single models that are like above 2,000 points, throw competitive out the window. You know what I mean? But there's so many creatures. The Stompa, the Gargantuan Squigoth, I feel like could be better.
God, make them better. Make them better for the love of God. Orcs in general, give us some love. We deserve it.
I would love to see, especially for Necrons. Necrons have a lot of cool Forge World options. You don't. I mean, I don't want it to be the answer for Necrons to break into the competitive scene, but like the what is it? The Centipede thing.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. There's the shooty one and the close combat one, I think, right?
Yep.
And I mean, those things are some of my favorite models in 40k, and they just have not been good as long as I've played. They've not been bad at certain points, but just lackluster.
Yeah.
Speaking of Necrons, me and Matt really have sat down and like broke open that army, and we feel they have some strength. The problem is the way they play is not plug and play. When you build your list, you're typically thinking of your play style and like what to expect with opponents. Well, with Necrons, their units are so like in the middle of the road that based off your opponent and their army and their play style is how you have to play your army.
Yep.
For instance, the Doomsday Arc with quantum shielding, like you would think it would kind of sit back and just do its shots, and because it gets like a better profile if it doesn't move. Well, if you place that thing out in front, because of quantum shielding, what could take down vehicles as multiple damage, it can then start ignoring those damages. So like las cannons, things like that. Little Stiff gets into it. It gets an Overwatch of like all the 20 shots from the gauze on there. That's neg 1 AP. It's still got its big gun to Overwatch on. you get into combat with it. If you're little dudes that can actually get through the quantum shielding, you're probably not going to kill it unless you wrap it. But then it has the fly keyword, so then it pops out, and then it's going to shoot you with rapid fire again and shoot the big cannon at a different target. Like, it's truly a great unit to play aggressively as far as like a defense aggressive defense, where you're putting your what would normally sit in the back and shoot up front. And then with destroyers, like there's a dynasty that allows them to deep strike. And then you can pop them into place and do stuff. But you have all these other like dynasties that have better stratagems for other things. So like you have to think about what your units do and then go into it. And then when your opponent has a certain way, you might have to change your whole play style. Yep. So you might take a dynasty that doesn't affect any of your units, but because of one stratagem, it allows more versatility against other armies, and that might fit you better. Like Necrons are almost like expert level 40k, because I don't think they're a bad army at all. I've seen them do damage. Like I took a version of what won BAO, and Matt killed it to the point where I wanted to give up after my movement phase in turn 1, because it didn't feel right. Like Necrons are able to just keep moving back and shooting the pylons, shooting the destroyers, and just messing up knights, because their whole thing is they can only buff one knight at a time. And with Necrons, they can take out 2 knights at a time.
Yep.
And then against like my list, like if he screens right and like puts the big stuff out front and the pylon starts it on the board. We played a game where his pylon didn't get to see the table. I killed it by not letting it come on the table.
Dude, I mean, Carson's pylon died just the other day to, like I said, to Riptide shooting. It was disgusting.
Oh, but dude, not allowing a pylon on the table is even more disgusting.
Yeah, that's definitely good.
Like within my first turn, I was able to crowd his whole deployment. I had my back deployment open. And what's nice about it being 9 inches away from an enemy unit is you can be 18 inches away from your own units, and that fills in gaps.
Right.
So I'm able to close the whole battlefield where they couldn't even come on. Turn 3 comes around, no pylons allowed to get in. So like if you're one of those people like, oh, I'm going to deep strike the pylon and I don't have to worry about it getting shot. Well, you also have to worry about, are they going to have the board presence? So you have to like know all these other armies and their strategies by looking at their list, and that's how you can counter them with Necrons. So like it's expert level 40k.
Fair. That's fair analysis, I feel like.
Yeah, I can see. I can definitely see that. I think they should probably FAQ James and just be like, "Sorry, James, you're FAQ'd, bro."
Dude, I feel like I've been FAQ'd.
They're like,
speaking of FAQs, so we have some confirmed changes for what, the ITC missions?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna say
Reaper is only gonna be every 20 models of infantry is gonna get you a Reaper point, instead of killing a model of 10 units to get you 1. Killing a model of 20 or more gets you 2. It's every 20, regardless of the unit dies or not.
That's good.
So, for my cultist, for instance, this is where I feel like I've been FAQ'd. I have a 40 man. Typically, I lose about 20 or so. Then I auto pass morale, tie to traitors. 40 of them pop back on. They now kill the other remaining 40. There's 3 points off of 1 unit. It's kind of gross.
I was thinking, does that work the same for like the Night stratagem, like for like Big Game Hunter or like Titanic, if you kill them?
Well, Titanic, was it Titan Slayer, I believe it is it's cumulative. Like you don't have to kill a knight. If you pick it, you can do 8 wounds on 4 different knights.
Yeah. But I mean, like, so with that, yeah, like if they zombie knight their knight, they still get more wounds off of knights if they keep killing the zombie knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my point. Is like my first thought was like, oh, when I heard that change, I don't like that it disincentivizes Horde, but at the same time, with things similar to like Big Game Hunter or Titan Slayer, like I feel that it kind of just levels the playing field.
Apparently, they're gonna eliminate double scoring. You were saying too, where they're not gonna let you.
I really like. You have no idea how much I like that.
They're not allowing a single unit to achieve multiple secondaries.
Because Hive Tyrants are psychers and monsters and characters, and that always was terrible.
Yeah, being able to.
Well, what's interesting is with the end game scoring, that obviously helps Horde regardless of who you are, because you can have more bodies on the field, and that's just how Hordes have their strength, is they can hold objectives and be around for the entire game. But with this MSU style, like Reaper, or you don't need to take a big unit, you don't have to kill a big unit, you can take little units and kind of maximize. It'll definitely help elite armies. So you get like this double balance. Like the main mission gives you balance for Hordes or strength for Hordes, and then these secondaries give you strength for your elites.
Yep. Okay, so to throw some summary on that, we were talking about points cost, for Forge World and some other big models, just super heavies in general in some places, particularly even Maya and Stampa, Gargantuan Squiggoth. We got the command farms would be a good thing to see fixed up. Chris wants to have a little bit of a difference on the character rule. I agree that like 6s to hit characters would be cool. I think they should be a little less invulnerable.
Stop talking, George. I don't want this. I don't want this at all.
I think that was the change Carson said he didn't like either.
Like if I was getting shot out on 6s for my characters, dude, my whole army would be so nerfed. Because like the beta rules and all this stuff after Adepticon, like my army didn't change at all. I just got more command points. Like I feel really good that I've been in this like zone of not being nerfed. Like Tide of Traders, I all used it once anyways. But now it's like ITC missions changing. You want to shoot my characters. You hurt me in the feelings, man.
Chapter proof's coming, man. Well, it's not just your obliterators can do it. You'll have some other things that can take advantage.
My obliterators did get hit because I loved when they can come down first turn. My Alpha Strike was so much harder when they came down first turn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually one thing I would love to see in Chapter Fruit. Speaking of which, James, there are units specifically. I don't think across the board. I think even drop pods should have some restrictions. There are units that should be allowed to deep strike into opponents' deployment zones first turn, I think.
I agree.
Well, there's so many workarounds that I think they're just going to get rid of that whole idea. I think that was just a dumb idea on their part. They were trying it out, calling it a beta rule, because it really was a beta rule, because nobody likes it.
Yeah, I mean, like, so, for example, like, Assault Marines with jump packs should be able to charge. Like, they should be able to do that. Molochs should be able to do it because their whole point is to bomb the enemy. Like, there are multiple units that, like, in fluff and in tabletop function, I feel like are for that early intercept. And by doing that to armies on a blanket statement, it's bad. I do like it on some level. I hope they don't get rid of it completely. I'll be honest. I really like the changes to Alpha Strike. I think it's slowed the game down in a good way.
I think all they really need to do is just stick with the no additional movement after you dropped in. Like they took away like quick in, being able to deep strike and then throw psychic powers on warp time. Deep strike warp time. Well, that's really all they had to get rid of.
This is the thing, though, is you can take, what is it called? Zangors. Use a dark matter crystal. They started on the board. Now they move up the board because they, like, teleported. You can now still use warp time on them. And you're literally your board edge, turn 1. Anywhere they want to be. So, like, I just think there's so many workarounds, like, being Alpha Legion, being able to infiltrate 9 inches from you, then get my movement, so I'm 3 inches from you. Like, there's so many ways to still get that first turn thing that it's like you need to have the deep strike turn 1 to like counter all the workarounds, because otherwise it's just not fair.
Yeah, it gets a little crazy. Yeah, so a little bit of rectifying there would be nice. I'm not quite sure of like how to kind of stay in both worlds or keep it and not. Besides like certain units should just get it in general to have back. Well, maybe again, I'm fine with just the psychic power being nerfed the way they did.
I agree, George. I think that's one that should stay, but give me my deep striking turn 1 again.
Yeah, that seems sensible to me too.
I just want my blitz to be able to shoot something turn 1, because 24-inch range and having to stay in your deployment zone is awful.
So actually, on that metric, James, this is one point. I wouldn't even hate to see it change so that you can't deep strike into your opponent's deployment zone turn 1.
Oh, I would be so for that.
See, like, I feel like that's another middle ground because, for example, I know it's a grievance I've heard from Dark Angels players. You know, their Dark Angels Terminators also 24-inch range. Their big point. I mean, Terminators aren't very good to begin with, but what
Yeah,
that
no way
unit always
beg to
did
differ.
was deep strike and shoot. Okay, well, Death Guard Terminators. You know, but you know, like it sucks because deep striking units that are meant to shoot are penalized on behalf of assaulting deep striking units, I feel like.
Yes.
And I don't think that's necessary.
I think it's just as bad as like people not paying women the same. Like,
Oh, God.
I don't know what else to say about that.
What a topic.
You know, James, you know what, man? I completely agree with you.
Yeah. I was listening to this topic on NPR on my way home from Ollie's.
2 out of 3 Warp Charge Gaming agrees.
Yeah.
This is as bad as women not being paid the same for the same job.
No, I'm
and
right there.
like,
I'm
if
right
GW
there.
supports that, then you guys have to think about you supporting GW.
Exactly.
Oh wow, that's where we are.
That is where we are, George. Because we started talking about 40K, not kill teams.
Well, on that note, yeah, I do love kill teams, and I will talk the shit out of it. I need to make a separate kill team show, I think, because I don't think I've had enough kill team talk yet. But I'm gonna have to cut it short because I mean we're an hour and 20 in. We got to save some material for the next. I mean, time. We could just keep.
We will have it because Battle in the Warp is this Sunday.
What? I'm gonna show the dang thing. Bam! Look at it. It's so beautiful.
Hey, so seriously, those who are considering going, if you're watching this now, we're going to be watching this after it's been recorded. Battle in the Warps this Sunday. I would recommend pre-registering. We have spots for 30 tables, or 30 teams, which is 15 tables. I mean, that's a lot of 40K.
Yeah.
Especially when there's 4 people at a table.
Yeah.
Carson in chat is my partner for this event. It's super exciting. We're gonna play some Necronids, and it's gonna be great.
Dude, I always love having pylons as like my partners, like army.
I don't know what you're talking about, pylons.
Especially
we're
in this
running.
Meta. Yeah.
We.
All right, I meant a pylon because the sheer fact that like that's the only model they really care to play with.
It's an awesome model.
Dude, it really is an awesome model, especially when it's on your side. Unfortunately, my doubles tournament I'm going to on the 25th, I have to bring in the substitute. The pylon will not be with me this time.
Yo, okay, so I know Carson's excited for this, and maybe Mike is as well, but like that Necron construct, when are we getting rules for that? Does anyone know?
October.
Really?
Yes.
That's dope.
Nice.
I think they hinted on that way too early, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I have been waiting for it forever. I even at one point thought it already had rules.
No, but it is going to have 3 different weapon options.
Dope. That thing is so cool.
So you know Forge World's going to sell those separately.
Of course they will. Well, yeah. It may be a version of the Triarch Stalker that's actually good.
I heard rumors that it's a Canatech. So that means there's no pilot. So that'll be interesting. That means it'll have no quantum shielding.
You gonna get that? You gonna get that, Chris? I'm showing you.
Oh, dude, thank you. I appreciate that. Just go ahead and engrave mine and Carson's name in it right now.
Little tournament champion.
Dude, I just want to give like extra kudos for whoever's like screw my partner. Like I'm going for War Master.
Yeah,
I really want to meet that guy.
I got some inside news as the the TO. I'm not gonna spill the beans here, but maybe somebody has already hinted to me that they're gonna go ham on going for War Master.
I think I know who it is.
Oh.
I don't want to say.
I think those people that do the random pairings, that's like, hey, you want to come with me to this tournament? They're the ones that are going to go for War Master.
Yeah.
Like, screw you, dude.
I even know.
I'm going to get drunk and be a War Master.
Pretty much. I know the special model he's bringing to try to achieve that with as well.
Wait, there's a special model. Okay, so the second I find somebody that has a special model, I'm going to be like, You're the War Master, dickbag.
I wasn't expecting. Yeah.
Chris, you can't be calling people dickbags for no reason.
Well, you know, if you brought a Gilliman or something, I'll tell you it's not a G-Man. So, ooh, I don't want to say where it's from either.
I want to know.
Yeah. Special.
Well, you said it's not a G-Man, so I'm not going to be looking at any Ultramarines players.
I think it's going to be an Abaddon.
Okay. All right. He might fly. I don't know.
He might. Oh, okay. So it's a Solitaire.
Oh.
Nope.
Is it a Demon Prince?
No.
It's not a Solitaire. Okay, well, he keeps giving us hints. This is great. We can just keep rating him.
I wasn't expecting it, you know.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So is it Celestine?
You know, that was one I expected. That was my top choice for what I would, you know, expect to see go for War Master. Celestine, G-Man, Magnus. But it's none of those.
Mortarion.
Nice guess.
It's Will Pauly. Oh my God, it's Will Pauly.
You will recognize the player.
Oh my God, it's Will Pauly.
A generic overlord.
No, it's definitely Connor with his fucking Yakarn. No doubt. That was my first guess.
These are all good competition, but not the player I had in mind. You'll have to see, I suppose. It's this Sunday, friends. I need you to tune in and see it, or just come. You can also, if you're a participant in the Best Coast Pairing app, which you know you should be, it's a fantastic thing. Support those guys. You can tune in and watch the pairing. You can see the pairings.
Once again, we touched on the technology element earlier. Best Coast Pairing is
all about
so cool.
Love it.
So cool.
Check it out. Check it out. Like anytime you go do an event or something that's ITC, you know, you should have.
If you know your friends are at an event and you're like just hanging out or at work and you're just like curious like how it's going, you can literally just be like, yo, I'm gonna like Google, or not Google, but like I'm gonna hop on Best Coast Pairing, search for the name of the event, and I can literally see the scores on their games. I can see lists that are attending the event. I can see it's just a phenomenal app. I love it.
You know, it's crazy. It was actually like when Rob Bear announced on Spiky Bits that he accidentally didn't take the right, cheated, if you will, in the Age of Sigmar at ATC. He won the ATC event.
Adios, Milo.
But he had a list that was incorrect by a few points because he didn't know the points had changed, and he was going off of just Battlescribe. And I remember being in the Wobbly Modeler forum and them discovering that by seeing the list featured on Best Coast Pairing. So it's pretty wild. You can definitely check up on the people you're going against and make sure to not have to like have them. You don't got to wait till the table until they hand over their list.
Public service announcement though about lists and being legal.
Right.
Battle in the Warp, the rule of 2.
Yep, no kidding. Hope you read that.
Wait,
everyone.
So I can't have 3 pylons?
You cannot have 3 pylons.
Well, you could if you both played Necrons and one person took 2 and one person... No, because I guess the points are over 500, huh? Somebody did email us today and ask us if they could split the points between the 2 different lists. They were at like 900 and they wanted their buddy to take 1100. Had to shut them down.
I'm glad you did, George.
Oh, I shut them down so hard. I was like Judge Dredd on that shit, dude.
Dude, what's so interesting is the one I'm going to on the 24th. They allow you to share the points.
Wow. Hickory dickory dock.
So I'm bringing like I don't know, like 1050. My partner's bringing like 950.
I feel like that really benefits really specific armies like Knights.
Yeah. What'd Carson just say? I missed it. Carson.
Dude, my partner is Guard with Blood Angels, and I'm like Chaos Space Marines with Demons.
Yeah, nice.
No, Carson, don't print it out. Just
no
make
worries.
sure it gets uploaded to Best Coast Pairings. If you have the app on your phone, what you can do is, if you go to the event on Best Coast Pairings, you can click the register link off of that.
Well, it's gonna be weird though, Chris, because you are the registered member, and right now with the team list, you guys will both have to put your list into a single person's list upload. Because you won't be in there as individuals until I post the scores in the after the event.
Carson, just send me your list. Since I'm the registered member, I'll make it happen.
Yeah, I already refunded Carson for accidentally buying a ticket.
Carson, you dickhole.
Yeah, it's his job. But yo, we should probably wrap it up. It's been a great evening.
It's true. I've had a lot of drink.
Nice. This Sunday.
Not as much as the other night.
Yeah.
Not as much as the other night.
Yet. This Sunday, we will be live streaming the Battle in the Warp Doubles event. It'll be on the Best Coast Pairing. It is ITC official. We cannot wait. Nova's coming soon. I love Kill Teams. I'm playing it virtually on Tabletop Simulator. You can probably catch me on Twitch here soon doing that, as I'm ready to do that. And I'd love to play with you. We're going to have a giveaway soon with some dice. And
some dice. And once again, Ice Wolf said he would email me and take me up on it.
All right.
Order those dice, Ice Wolf. I've got you on the cost of a set. Just pay that shipping.
Yeah, I like it. Same thing with Milo there.
You've been a loyal listener, man. I will be happy to oblige you on that.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, I'd love Ice Wolf to be repping. James, pretty cool. He's dancing for you, and he streams live on Twitch every Wednesday with live painting tutorials. And then check out our Instagram to get some high-def photos of the finished products and progress. And we've been getting a little bit more active on our Warp Charge Gaming Facebook group. We'd love to have you join our group.
Looks like I was beating off 2 giants.
It's funny because
James.
And now it's the only way I will ever see James.
James takes fun seriously. He beats off giants. And wow, he's going for the shot. God. I'm going to edit that with some splooges. I just saw it. Oh, my God. I just saw that shit on the back end of the Twitch here. Woo! Okay, so I thought
we were off air. I thought
we're definitely not off air. You just jacked off some giants on air. Anyways, you guys keep taking fun seriously. This Warp Charge
They're called
Gaming.
Premier Space Marines. Seriously.
We'll be back next Thursday. We'll see you this Sunday. Take care, buddy. Peace.
Adios.